Yo people, wagwan. Welcome back to RonsTechHub. As you can see on my screen, I've got HexOS up and running. I'm going to be showing you guys how to access your shared folder from your Windows device, from your Android device, from a Linux machine, and from an iOS device as well. So let's go. Before I do any of that, I'm going to do a quick tour of what the user interface is like. So this is what you'll see. You can access this from mobile, so from your mobile phone and from a desktop PC like I'm doing here. Very simple user interface. I really like this. It doesn't give you too much. Once you install and set everything up, this is what you're greeted with. So on the left hand side, we have the options. I'm on the dashboard right now. It gives me the overall system information. So activity, server is healthy, 8 new messages. So I'm going to click on new messages and see if there's anything I need to do. This is essentially a log of everything that was done, everything that has been done on the system. If I go over to processor, it shows me the number of cores I have and what's been done on each core. So at the moment, very light use, 26 degrees as well. And for network, we barely have any usage. If I go down to where it says storage, and I have a quick overview of the storage, the main thing here, it says one drive can fail without data loss, which means that one drive is being used and the other drive is there for mirroring. So if something does happen, I can swap the drives out, I can put another drive in, and I can get all my data back. This is the main thing. And again, I want to reiterate, this is not redundant, because ideally I should have another drive in another location that has a copy of all my data as well. And at the very bottom here, I have all the apps I've installed. So at the moment, I've only installed the image app, or the image app. This is an app that allows you to back up stuff from your phone. So videos and pictures from your phone automatically to the server. You no longer need to pay for Google Drive, OneDrive, iCloud. You can back up directly here. Obviously good and bad. Good in that you don't have to pay anyone else to hold your data. Bad in that you have to manage everything yourself, but it's relatively easy to manage. When I go down to storage on the left hand side, again, it just gives me a small overview of my storage pools. I only have one pool at the moment. If I click on where it says folders under that, now this is where I have my public folders and I have my users as well. So I can add users here, I can add folders from here, and I can change the permissions directly from here. On the apps, it's going to show the newly curated app, so I can go through and see if there's anything on here that I want. The main app I want on here is Tailscale. This is a VPN that requires barely any setup whatsoever. It's really good, and it's completely free depending on how many devices you want to put on the system. And on the settings, this is where you have all your system settings. So getting started, network, reset, archive messages, preferences, TrueNAS. So you can access TrueNAS directly from here. And again, HexOS. Again, HexOS is just a user interface, a web UI slapped on top of TrueNAS, but it makes it incredibly convenient to manage TrueNAS. Even though TrueNAS scale is free, I think it is enterprise levels of complexity. So here I am on this PC folder on my PC. So these are the drives currently on my PC. This is a Raspberry Pi. So this is a Raspberry Pi NAS I currently have running Open Media Vault. What I'm going to do is access my drive now directly from here. And I'm going to do this by simply entering either the host name or the IP address. I'm going to do //192.168.0.188. Press enter, and that's going to come up with the username and password. The user account details that you need to enter are going to be from the local account. So if you have multiple local accounts, you can choose any one of them. At the moment, I only have one, so I'm going to enter that one. This is not going to be where you put in the admin details. I'm going to type my username as a NADO. Go to password. I'm going to type my password here as well, and I'm going to click OK. This should load me straight in. There we go. So I've got my photos folder, which is where image would be backing up videos and photos to. But if I go back one more, I'm going to have my HexOS folder as well, and this is where I can copy stuff to and from. I have on my desktop a 2 GB file which I uploaded to YouTube a while ago. So I'm going to simply drag this over to this folder here, let go of it. So I'm getting roughly 100 megabytes per second. That's very good speeds. The bottleneck here is probably the Ethernet port on my physical device. So it's not the network, it's not HexOS, it's the physical port on that device. If you have another device that has maybe 2.5 gigabit speeds, you can probably get full speeds on that as well. I'm going to go back again, and as you can see on my this PC folder, it's not here. So what you need to do is actually map the drive, and to map the drive, you click on the 3 dots here, click on the dots, go down to where it says map network drive. So this is going to make it show up essentially like my Raspberry Pi NAS here. So again, 3 dots, go down to where it says map network drive. Once this window pops up, you can leave the drive letter to anything. It doesn't matter what it is. So I'm going to type in the IP address manually. So again, it's //192.168.0.188. Please remember that whatever whatever I'm typing in will definitely not work for you. You need to go get the IP address of your specific server. I'm going to do backslash again and type in HexOS. I'm going to click on finish and see if that works. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So it's now saved this as a drive on my PC. So it's going to pretend as if it's a memory stick. So when I go back to this PC here on the left hand side, I can now see my Raspberry Pi drive and I can see my HexOS drive as well. So I've got both NAS drives saved to my this PC. So which means that if I close this window and reopen the this PC folder, I can see both drives there. That's the benefit of doing this. This is how you connect to your HexOS file share using an iPhone. So I went over to the search bar here. I typed in files, F-I-L-E. It came up with the files app. And inside the files app, at the very bottom, you click on shared. Then at the top right hand corner, you click on the three dots and you go to connect to server. And here you're going to type in SMB. You're going to type in colon // then the IP address. I've already done this, so I know this is 192.168.0.188 for me. I'm going to click on the tick in the top right hand corner. You will need to enter that username and password you created. And again, the username and password you use here are not the admin passwords, but the user account you created for accessing the local share. Type in a username and password, and in the top right hand corner, you click on the tick again. And there you go. I've got access to my HexOS share. I'm going to click on HexOS. I'm going to try playing, let's try playing this Action 6 video. There we go. Plays with no issues. You can scrub through it as usual. There is no latency issues for me on my end. So that's how you connect to your HexOS file share using the iPhone. By the way, this is the iPhone 16 Pro Max running the latest software as of June 2026. I'm on my Android phone. I'm using an app called File Manager Plus. I'll put the link in the description as well so you can go download it from the Android App Store. I'm going to open File Manager Plus. I'm going to go to where it says remote and I'm going to do add a remote location. I already have a few drives here, so ignore those for now if you have more. Add a remote location. I'm going to choose SMB, which stands for Samba. And here I'm going to type in my IP address, my username, and my password. For the host name, do not put the slashes in here. This app does not need you to put the slashes in, only the IP address. So it's going to be 192 for me, .168.0.188. I'm going to go down to username, type in the username I created earlier on HexOS. I'm going to type my password in as well. Once I finish typing my password in, I'm going to click OK. It loads up with these two folders here straight away. So I'm going to click on the HexOS one because that's where I copied the file earlier. And as you can see, it is there and it's working perfectly fine. I'm going to try and play this by clicking on it to see if it works. Yep, plays perfectly fine. I'm going to try and scrub through as well at the bottom. Works perfectly fine. Yep. I'm going to try and copy a file from my mobile phone to the NAS. So I go back to home. I'm going to copy a random file. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm just going to copy something random. I'm going to go to my downloads folder and I have a huge file here which I can copy across. It's like 2 gigabytes. I'm going to long press on this. I'm going to go down to where it says copy. I'm going to go back to home again. On the remote, I'm going to click on where it says the 188 at the end. Click on that one. Go to HexOS and I'm going to simply paste it. I got a maximum speed of 90-ish megabytes per second, which is again fully saturating the 1 gigabit port on that device. That's how you set up a share on HexOS from Android and copy a file to it. So that's how you set up Windows, Linux, Android, and iOS to your HexOS file share. Everything linked up the very first time with no issues. Once you know the IP address and the username and password, you're good. So far, I'm still in awe of how simple the user interface that sits on top of TrueNAS is. Because in my opinion, that's the thing that's holding a lot of people back. All these buttons and cogs and things you have to go figure out in other operating systems. This simplifies it down to a level where any single person can simply install the operating system, plug the hard drives in, and get working straight away. More stuff incoming? Stay tuned.